Welcome to another session of Microsoft Excel. In the previous session, we started learning about the formula that is available in formulas that are available in Microsoft Excel. And then we learned about the sum function. Now, Microsoft Excel has a library of formulas. And most importantly, the basic formulas that we use are the arithmetic formulas. So something like sum, average, subtraction, multiplication, division is something that we use on a regular basis, right? So in today's session, we will be learning about the very basic formula, which is average formula. Now that we already know how to do sum, we will be doing average function as well. When and why do we require average is also something that we will be knowing. So today's session is all about average formula. Now, what is average formula? See, the average is, let's say you have a group of cell range, numbers that are inputted in cell ranges, right? And there you want to know all the numbers that are input, what exactly is the sum and what is the average. That means, for example, you have put cost prices of 10, uh, 10 different products and you want to know what is the average cost price. What you can do is just use a simple average formula. Please note that this is a basic arithmetic formula. This is not a statistical formula that we will be using, right? Now, the average syntax is that we use the whole syntax. For example, in addition, we use sum. But for average, we write average, right? So that means that you get to know the arithmetic mean. So for example, if the range in A1 to A20 contain numbers, the formula will be average A1 to A20. Now, as I said that I'm using Microsoft Excel version 2021, the thing is all my columns are number labeled, not letters labeled like it was in the previous version of Microsoft Excel. So the same way that we computed sum formula, we will be computing average formula. Now, always make sure that you're inserting the when you're looking for average, if you might be looking it for two numbers or for more than 10 numbers, right? Or 15 numbers for that matter. There is no limit in the cell range when you're calculating average. And then there are two ways to calculate average, by the way. One is the most easier method where if you select the cell range in the bottom of the taskbar where you can find the sum formula, you will be able to see the average as well. And the next is using the average formula. Now let's learn how to use the average formula. So I'll go back and I am in this Microsoft Excel document again. Now you see this is the whole group of numbers that I've written. If I select all of them together, I already can see the average of the selected cells. Let's start adding some more numbers and getting some more averages. So for example, so this is the 10 numbers that I've inserted. So this is my numbers. Now, how am I going to do it is select the cell where you want the average formula to be in. Put equal to, then start typing A, V. As you can see average, average A, average if, average ifs. But we are only writing average because we are learning average. So you write the whole word, right? Now that we have done average, you put the first bracket, right? Using shift, you click on to the first number of the cell range. You go here, you put colon, right? Select the last number of the cell range. Again, click here and close the bracket, right? As you can see, this is my formula. Press enter and you get 56.4, right? So this is very easy to do it. Now, let's say if you're thinking that your average is wrong, you can select all of them and you can see your average here is 56.4. So it's very easy to use average formula, by the way. What you also can do is you can go here and use the average. You see, this has already been inserted. So the other way to do it is, one is that you insert the formula. Second, you select all of them. For example, so let me add some more numbers and you will be able to understand. Do, let's say, and what you can do it is you can select all of them, right? You go to auto sum, right? You see this E mark, yeah? And you click here and you do average and you already get the number which is 75. You might be thinking that you are wrong, but what you can do is to double check, select all the numbers and you see the average in the bottom taskbar. It's 75. Isn't this much more easier to understand and use it? Average can be used for any cell range, by the way. There is no limit to the cell range for which you are using average. Average is a very important function and a very basic function to use. Since this is an arithmetic function, you will be able to find it in the auto sum itself. So every time, it doesn't mean that you have to do an equal to and write the average. What you can do to save time is select the whole cell range, yeah, and go to auto sum and get an average, right? So this is how you do it. So for example, I'll just select the numbers here. And if you want to do an average, what you can do is I've used both the cell ranges and I get a average as well. You see the separate average is also given here for me, right? So you can choose the cell range and also get your average. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you have to use a different average or see, I've already got the cell ranges and the average here. So getting your average is also easy. Yes, you can use any number of cell ranges, any number of rows and columns to get an average. Make sure you're using the correct formula and you're selecting your rows and columns properly, right? So this is all about average formula.